Welcome to Shenkman Education. My name is Marty Shenkman, and the topic for this video clip is trust protectors. Trust protectors is a relatively new in the world of estate planning technique or mechanism or appointment, a person that can serve to accomplish a lot of important planning goals. So just to give a quick illustration, you create an irrevocable trust. That's a trust that can't be changed because you're doing it for asset protection or move assets from your estate because you're concerned about taxes. Asset protection remains a very important goal for many people, but because the trust is irrevocable, you want to build in flexibility into the trust so that if change needs to be made, you can do so using a position called a trust protector, which is typically an independent, unrelated person, is named, and it can be related, but it's not going to be a beneficiary. Independent could be better. But the trust protector could be given a simple power like the right to remove and replace the trustee and change the situs or location in governing law affecting the trust. So let's say you create a trust in your home state and many years later you're sued, and let's say your spouse was named as a trustee. The trust protector could terminate your spouse's trustee, replace it with an institution in a state that has better asset protection laws, and move the situs and governing law of the trust from your home state to the better state. That could be an effective tool. There's myriads of different applications of trust protectors, and you need to be very careful with what you read and what you do, because many times the term is used to mean different things. A trust protector could be a fiduciary. That means a person with a responsibility to the beneficiaries of the trust as a fiduciary, a duty of loyalty. A trustee could expressly be appointed as acting in a non-fiduciary capacity, which means no liability, responsibility, or loyalty to the beneficiaries of the trust. Which approach is used will depend on the trust document. You have to make sure it's consistent with what you want, what state law in the state where the trust is created has, and if you don't like that state law, you could create the trust in a state that has law that supports what you're trying to do, and the functions of that person. So whether the trust protector should be a fiduciary or non-fiduciary is an important issue to address. Many people, as I said, use the term sort of in a loosey-goosey way. So a trust protector for one trust from one lawyer could mean somebody that's given a power to add you back as a beneficiary. And another trust could be someone with just the example I gave initially of being able to remove and replace a trustee. So which powers are given and what they mean is very important. If someone is going to be able to add a beneficiary back, they should really be designated to act in state law, and the trust document should support that in a non-fiduciary capacity, because if they have a fiduciary responsibility, loyalty, for example, to the beneficiaries, how can you add a new beneficiary, thereby diluting the economic interest of the existing beneficiaries? As a final subtopic, trust protectors have not frequently or historically been used in revocable trust. Revocable trusts are set up often to avoid probate, but also very importantly to manage assets during health issues, disability, and aging. A trust protector could be a very, very important and powerful position in a revocable trust plan, and most don't include it. Why so? What if the trustee, your daughter, turns out to be a bad egg and is not taking care of you and is pilfering trust money? It could be very costly and even very difficult, maybe even impossible, to get to court and prove those things. And while you're suing your daughter, remove it, think of the family dynamics of that. She's going to use funds in the trust to defend herself. And if the other kids are not trustees, they may not have any information and may have to front the money out of their own pocket to pursue such a suit. It could be very difficult, if not impossible. However, if you name a trust protector, your accountant, your old college roommate, whatever, and that person has the authority to remove and replace the trustee, if that person has the authority to ask and demand from the trustee an accounting of what's going on, it could be a huge protection. So trust protectors can be a very powerful tool in estate planning. It's a notch up from what is often done in many typical estate plans, but well worth considering. It's complicated. Make sure that you work not with an online website if you're using trust protectors, and if the concept makes sense, but an attorney specialized in estate planning. It's just not in common enough use yet that you are going to find what you need anywhere. You need to make sure someone that you work with understands the concept. Thank you for joining me, and remember, with all items for Shenkman Education, this is presented for educational purposes only. Consult with professional advisors before proceeding. Thank you.